We have been following news since just about 3:30 this afternoon, so almost 3 hours now, of what has turned out to be a fatal plane crash in Madeira into a home there. We are awaiting a news conference to start with the fire chief in just a moment. So as we wait for him to get ready, let's just catch up with a couple more details. Oh wait, he is speaking. Let's go ahead and listen in.
And there are a whole bunch of questions that we won't know, but we'll give you what we can, exactly. So Dr. Samarco has joined us now, and we'll start with Dr. Samarco, the Hamilton County Coroner.
Okay, well, the basic questions that you always ask me. So we have a single victim and middle-aged white male, and we do have ID that we found at the scene. We're not ready to name him. We have to notify the family. We also have to scientifically identify him, so we're not ready to give that information out yet. As far as we know, we did not find any other victims. There was nobody in the house that was injured, so our part, we've recovered the body and we're waiting for transport.
Are you able to tell us if the person is from the tri-state area?
You know what, at this point I don't want to give any more information out just because we don't have a lot of information to start with, because we don't know if this is the person for sure. There is an ID with him, but until we scientifically identify him, I can't say for sure that that's him.
Does that make sense? Okay. So what we do know is that the Madeira Indian Fire Department was dispatched to this plane crash initially as a Kaywood address and then directed to a Rolling-Mead address, and as it turns out it ends up on a Rolling-Mead address between the two backyards. The time of dispatch was at 15:18 hours. Our first unit arrived on scene at 15:24 hours and found the plane crashed in the backyard on fire. It had crashed into a house through a tree in the backyard. It is a twin-engine Piper piece of equipment, and we know that it had been working in the area for a while, but we're not exactly sure where it's really based, but they had been flying out of Lunken Airport. We do know that the aircraft was on its way back to Lunken Airport at the time of the crash, and we don't know a whole bunch of other things. What we do know is that, fire did their thing originally, law enforcement did their thing originally, that the Ohio State Patrol, the FAA, the coroner, and the FBI are all on scene. So all the right people are here to do this right. And so what happens though is, and we're prepared to do this right, but it takes time. And so that's what leaves us short then of some of the questions that all of you might logically ask. But we probably don't know the answers to some of those.
We also have NTSB will be arriving this evening, and they'll begin their investigation probably first thing in the morning. So they'll have a lot more information, and then this becomes NTSB's jurisdiction at that time.
Have you ever been in contact with Lunken Airport about any potential emergency call that was made by the pilot?
We've been in contact with all of the air traffic control centers that this pilot talked to, and we're still trying to figure out what they know. So
we did have a Lunken Airport representative here.
Yeah.
So.
But you did since confirm that it was originating from Lunken as well.
The plane's been based at Lunken on probably some what we think is aerial photography work in the area for some time.
We've seen so many pictures and videos floating around from different neighbors. Can you speak to how much those are going to help the investigation?
I haven't seen any of them, so
we haven't seen any of them, so but we do know. I mean, yes, that's what we've heard too. In the age of social media, with everybody with a cell phone and a video camera and everything else.
But we can't speculate the value of that until we actually have a chance to take a look. So I think at this point it's still under investigation, like a lot of these things, and we're just unraveling the first few bits of information, and we'll get some more when we have a chance to examine them. And
I suppose it's not unfair to say if you have anything or things come to you, please call the Madeira police. That's the local, closest place that you can get in touch with somebody that can route what you know or what you have to the right people.
They'll be the contact for any information that comes
process look like tonight when he was moving?
Security at the area, encouraging sightseers to stay away and stay out of our way, and let the citizens of the community return to normal, and let them have their privacy. And at daylight, I think most of the things we need to do tonight are moving along, and the real investigation will start tomorrow. Then in daylight, when even more of the right people are here. Make sense?
I know we aren't ready to release the victim's name. Do you know how much flying experience he had?
Don't know. Yeah, we don't.
How long could an investigation take? Is that something
4.5 years, or maybe 5, or something like that, as long as it needs to.
I can tell you it was a 62-year-old white male.
62.
And we don't know anything about his FAA experience or his flight experience or his log or hours or anything like that. So as you can imagine, anything that was with him is really not legible at the moment. So,
Do you have to file a safety check at an airport before you fly?
62.
No.
it's a good question for the FAA.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful day out, and we mentioned before that we think there was no reason. They looked for a flight plan, they didn't find one immediately, and so there was every reason to believe that he was flying VFR, visual flight rules, and everybody can do that as a pilot.
Does his plane have IFR capabilities?
We don't know.